FabAttorney. It's the FabAttorney. So guys, last week I didn't record anything. I was at 2 business conferences, up-leveling my mind. I had an amazing time. I'll do a separate video about this, but it's Sunday and I love football. Guys, we're still getting to know each other, so you guys may not know that. And so I watch football all day. And it's almost 11 on Sunday, and I know the Patriots and Buccaneers game is still going on, but I honor my commitment to myself and you guys, and I wanted to make sure I got this video recorded, so hopefully it will be out tomorrow or on Tuesday. So I was sent a very good video from a friend, a good girlfriend of mine, from the roommates. They are, I think, 2 best friends who were roommates at one point, and they make content. I'm not sure if they're a part of like the red pill community or not. I've only seen this video and another video, and I can say that I like some of the things they're saying because it's intelligent, it's thought out. I don't agree with everything. They have diverse opinions, at least from this video that I am going to be reacting to. And they actually use statistics. Well, you guys know I am a lawyer. I like when people back up their points. Now, opinions, you don't need to back it up. But a lot of times people like to state opinions as their facts. And why I'm so passionate about the reaction videos and things like that. Guys, I divorce people. I help to break people up. And I'm seeing, I've been an attorney for 10 going on 11 years, and I'm seeing a pattern that there's a lot of broken people. I'm seeing that there's a pattern of us not picking the right people, our pickers being off. I'm seeing a pattern of us not taking time to heal and know someone in an internal, spiritual, deep way. And so now we're just making very superficial decisions, and the ramifications are devastating to children, to finances, to mental, emotional, spiritual health. So I really want to help people holistically. You know, I get so excited when I get someone divorced and I get to like pour into them and, you know, recommend them to therapist and life coach and wellness journeys and things like that. And we just all need to get whole. So I find myself a lot of times giving life and relationship advice to my clients, and they love it. So some of this is just a passion of mine to help, you know, just to kind of put a different perspective out there from someone who knows what I'm talking about. This is what I deal with. This is what I have hundreds of clients. I go to court every day. I know what's going on behind the scenes, the real deal Holyfield, not like the Instagram pic, not what people want to show you. I know what's going on in you all's home behind the scenes. And some people are happy. Those people don't need me. But a lot of people who are finding themselves divorced multiple times. I myself am divorced, right? And have done a lot of healing work. I do not have children. I've gotten some emails. I don't have children. I am not married. And I'm not going to get all in my business about whether I'm looking for somebody or not, but I am not married. I don't have children. That's all you need to know. I'll have some videos about once I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, guys. I really, well, number one, as a businesswoman, as somebody who my time is worth lots of money, and everyone's time should be. We can't get back our time. So what am I saying? I could be working even on a Sunday making X amount of dollars, but I want to give back. And I think at the very minimum, you know, fair exchange is no robbery. You don't have to give me any money, but you can like, subscribe, and share if you're getting anything out of this, of my videos, of my reactions, any entertainment value, any life lessons. I always say, eat the fish, throw away the bones. There's nobody in this world you're going to agree with 100% except yourself. So we have to be open, have a teachable spirit. We have to be open. And since I've been divorced and I've been really like spending time healing, analyzing my values, analyzing the things that I pick, I've really come to realize that it's so much better to listen and not feel like we have it all figured out, because we don't. And even through listening to YouTube, some of these videos that I'm learning, and I'm open, and I ask you to be open. So anywho, guys, I hope this is going to be a quicker video, but it is a reaction. So sometimes that becomes longer. So I watched this video, I don't think the whole thing. And I don't know this. There's 2 roommates. I don't know their names, but this particular roommate, he's there by himself. He has 2 women with him, and I believe it's like a roommates after dark. They're getting like into spicy, salacious comments and conversations and things of that sort. Right up my alley. I like it. What I loved about it is that they had diverse conversation, intelligent conversation, respectful conversation that at least to some extent was backed by some studies and statistics. And the reason why I felt compelled to make this video is because I felt like there were parts of the conversation that were not addressed. And I felt like I can tell you guys from a personal standpoint, I'm a woman. I've been an attorney since I was 25. I'm 35, guys. I turned 35 this year. Okay. And so I've been an attorney for a while. And I like to think that, you know, even though I am not in my 20s, I'm not bitter. I'm attractive. I make good money. I'm educated. So I'm saying I'm attractive. I may not be your kind of attractive, and that's okay. To each its own. But I'm saying that's my experience in the world. That's my experience in the world. So they were sort of talking about in this discussion about when you're an attractive woman and you date these high quality men, and, you know, the standard of men being a particular height. Well, I have lived and I have dated the men who are, you know, I tend to date only men over 6 feet. Not intentionally. I've dated men underneath 6 feet. I am 5'8" and I'm thick. Okay. I wouldn't say fat, but I'm thick. You got cook up rice, didn't miss her. Cook up rice is a Guyanese. So you guys will say rice and beans. I'll say cook up rice. So I tend to wear heels and things like that. So I just like to have somebody my height. I've also dated men shorter. I have dated men who earn a lot of money. I have dated men who make less money. And I think that I'm going to watch the video. I think that there was portions, at least of what was shown in this video, that they didn't really, there was an unexplored part of the debate that I'd like to chime in and kind of give it to you guys, and let's get into it. So the title of the video is, let me share my screen. Okay. Yes. I usually have it all already shared for you guys. Okay. Yes. This is what I want to share. So it's the roommates, Hafiz. That's his name. I see it right there, Hafiz. And the title of the video is The Lack of Quality Men. And you hear this all the time. Let's get into it. Hold on. Let me make sure that you guys, okay. Oh, I can see it. Perfect. So I'm going to press play. We're going to listen and we're going to get into it.
In the description below. It says marriage rates are on the decline in the United States and have been for the last few decades. Data offered by the United Census show that nearly 70% of men and women were married in the 1950s, compared to about 50% in 2018. It's actually like 49%. So for the first time in American history, there's less married people than single people. A near 10% increase during the same time frame of men and women who've never been married. There are a number of reasons, clear point, there are a number of reasons for the demographic shift. For instance, delayed marriage, more long-term non-marital cohabitation, and perhaps less cultural emphasis on marriage, but might there be other reasons? Why aren't women getting married? Let's find out. New research identifies an interesting quirk in the marriage market that might explain declining rates of marriage. Taking an economic approach, the authors argue that there's a fundamental mismatch, and I think this is the big part, between what available men in the United States have to offer and what available women in the United States are willing to accept. I want to stop right here. There's a mismatch between what available men in the United States have to offer compared to what women are willing to accept. What are your ladies' thoughts about that?
I agree.
Okay.
Financially?
In general.
Because think about this, going back to the last article, right? Where men drop out more than women do. Or just in a general sense. What are those men offering to these women now? What do they have to offer?
Well, I guess I can only speak to my experience. The men that I know, most of the men that I know that did not finish college probably make more money than me.
So generally speaking, let's not just go schooler and money. Do you feel like men today offer less than what women are trying to accept?
No, actually. So I feel like women accept a lot, and that's why we're in this position right now.
So you think women are accepting too much? Okay, we'll talk about that later. So maybe they propose women aren't getting married because the highly desirable men are taking. What are your thoughts upon that? I heard Shani said something she had to say about that later.
Yeah. All right. I got some feedback that was interrupting the last video too much. I'm trying to let it play. I have a couple of thoughts on this. Number one, I think there's like an assumption. Everybody should not be getting married. Back in the day, people were getting married. Women were getting married because there was a need. We were not as financially stable. I think marriage is not an age. I don't think marriage is I want to have kids, because I've been there, got the t-shirt and got the divorce. I think marriage is you found someone who has the value system and the ability to go the distance with you, and who values commitment and monogamy. And if you don't, then you should be happily single. So I don't like the way the discussion is couched, that the assumptions that everyone should be getting married. Everyone should not be getting married. Second point I have to this is, if there is, let's say, a shortage of desirable men, let's say we're talking about men who 6 feet, make 6 figures, whatever. And it's supply and demand. So I applaud any woman who's deciding not to settle, because who wants to be anybody's silver medal? I don't, like, when I watched this video, I didn't understand that. Like, you don't want to settle out. I've seen another video of Hafiz and the other roommate, I can't recall his name off the top of my head, and they were sort of saying that men, their opinions are that men who are unhappy are just kind of settling for women that don't really do it for them. You know, it doesn't do. And their advice was to focus on up-leveling yourself and becoming very competitive, so that you can get the woman that burns your desire, that you want to be with. And I think that there's nothing wrong if there's women who are doing that. And I would actually echo that same advice to women. Make yourself, if that's losing weight, if that is whatever, study, the market that you're trying to attract, what's necessary, and then try to make yourself align with that. And also have a conversation with yourself. Is that something that you truly want? Is that something you truly desire? Or do you think that that's something that you want? But I just think this is interesting. I want to hear what these young ladies have to say.
Yeah, because I felt like all the highly desirable men aren't taken. But even, all right, so even going back to what these men are offering, or the lack thereof, the reason why most women aren't getting married right now is because if I feel like I'm up here and the man is below me because I can make more money now, well, how about this? I can be more self-sufficient now. Back then, like when my mom was growing up, she couldn't be as self-sufficient as I am, as my age. So I feel like if it was a man that was on the same level with me, if he wasn't doing better than me, I don't see what he could offer that would make me want to not settle with him per se, but like pursue a relationship and then like commit to him.
No, that's a fantastic point, and we'll talk about that as we go for an article. to me, I feel like that's a big problem. And it's just my personal opinion, because it's like, what's valuable to me in a relationship is loyalty, honesty, trust, dependability, faithfulness, consistency, integrity. All those things is irrelevant to your college degree or how much money you make.
Exactly.
But what I see is those intangibles are not things that people value. And so I always, in my opinion, I always tell people, I said, you get what you value in a relationship. If you
now Hafiz is preaching, honey. So guys, I vehemently agree with what Hafiz is saying here, because I have lived it and I've seen it over and over in my consultations. I think in general, we are all placing way too much emphasis on maybe financials, maybe looks, maybe height, maybe vagina, penis, whatever, booty. Because marriage is what Hafiz was just talking about, the intrinsic things, someone's values, the way someone thinks, someone's temperament, someone's mental health, someone's emotional health, someone's attachment style. These are the things that are going to make a marriage healthy or unhealthy. And a lot of times, because we're in the social media, we're in the social media age, we're in this flashy age, we're in this, likes, we do things to get likes and things of that sort. I don't think we have assessed, and I have been there. Mama has lived, honey. So when I was married, I was very much so attracted to my husband. He was amazing. He was fine. And obviously in the beginning, people are like, foot massages and all of that. But when I got to know some of the intrinsic characteristics, the things that are actually going to make your quality of life, the things that actually can help you go the distance, we were not aligned. And there was some toxicity there. And I actually was like, wow, Felicia, you did not, as intelligent as you are, as intelligent as I am, as things that I have seen and know, I didn't pay as much attention to those intrinsics as I should have. I didn't vet. And I 100% agree. And I see that over and over, because when people are coming to me and they're spending lots and lots of money for divorce in custody cases, it's all like, when the serotonin and dopamine hits and the person is fine and the sex is fire, it's amazing. But after that wears off, you're left with character or lack thereof, consideration or lack thereof. So I agree with him. Like the fact that the women or the young lady, the brown skin young lady, the first thing she went through is money. I understand if lifestyle is very important to you. I'll be honest. I always had the mindset that I'm going to provide myself the lifestyle that I want outside of a man. Now, a man can bring me to another level, or he can make it so that I don't need to grind as much. I can, rest in my femininity and, bear children and things like that. And there's so much value to that. But I think, God bless the child that has his or her own. If you research a Proverbs 31 woman, she's a businesswoman in every sense of the word as well. But she understands how to submit to her husband, to her king, to the right kind of man. So Hafiz, what he said here is just so good. Go ahead. Keep on preaching, Hafiz.
Yeah.
And what I see is that most people don't really value the intangibles, because in my experience, I'm a very picky. One of the main reasons I'm not picky with women, because I'm so picky myself. And if I was a woman, I'd be just as picky as you guys. And so, huh?
We're picky?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
In there like that. Like,
but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is what it is. That's your life. I mean, I'm as a picky person, I'm not going to look down upon someone else who's picky. Like, who the hell am I to be so? So I don't look down upon it. But at the same time, I've always said, to me.
Okay. So they're about to go into a commercial. So I'm going to. Okay. So let's talk about this pickiness conversation. I'm going to actually, hold on. Let me. Unshare the screen, let it do what it do. And regarding
$80,938.18. Now that's more than I used to make an entire year at my old nine.
Okay, hold on.
It's
so I wanted to touch bases on this picky conversation. I'll reshare the screen. A conversation needs to be had about understanding the difference between standards and picky. There's a distinction, right? And placing too much emphasis on things that are not or should not be determining factors to whether you are going to spend the rest of your life with someone, you're going to raise children, you're going to bury your parents with someone. So when we're talking about picky, I'm going to qualify that as like, if you have a preference that you like caramel skin people, but an amazing person comes and they're light or dark skin and you disqualify them, that's being picky. I think it's also being irrational, right? If you like big juicy booties and person has like a little plump lump of a booty, but they're amazing, they check off every other box, to disqualify anybody who doesn't have a big juicy booty, that's silly. If there's an amazing man and he checks off all the boxes but he's 5'10" and not, earlier in the video, he's not 6'1". I've admitted that I generally, and I attract men who are 6 feet and above. I have dated men who are not 6 feet. I don't want to ruin it because I want to kind of tie it into the conversation that I anticipate coming up in terms of it's not only preference. What I find is that shorter men are bothered by me being tall and wearing my heels, and like the whole Napoleon complex. So I just rather not deal with it. What I have found is that when I have dated, I've both dated high value men. If we're talking about high value as far as just financials, who are doing very well. One or two people I've dated made millions, or net worth was upwards of $1 million. And I've dated people who are a mechanic, who were in between jobs, and I will tell you, it is substantially harder to be with a man who you make more money. They say that they're okay with it. They're very much so attracted, and eventually they resent you. Eventually there's friction, and sometimes it boils into toxicity. They don't feel like them, and there's nothing you can do. I'm not talking about us as women dressing them down, but if you have a particular lifestyle and education and you're able to do, and the man you're with is not able to hold his own, let me clarify. He doesn't have to be, I don't need a man who's making the same amount of money I'm making now, but he has to be able to hold his own and significantly contribute to the lifestyle that we agreed to, whatever that is, right? But I don't want to have to downgrade completely. Like, I own a home. It's in a particular neighborhood. The mortgage is a particular amount. I drive a particular car. Now, I can compromise a little bit, like on vacations, but if I can afford it and he can't, that becomes, if you guys are not aligned, right? And if you're not truly one, then it becomes problematic. And I have run into it. That's the part of the discussion that I don't think is being held, because I think the conversation is being framed, why are women not getting married? It's a mutual thing. I've dealt with it. There's a whole different set of problems you deal with when you're dealing with the ballers and the people, that I've also experienced. And then as people, we have to decide, what set of problems do I want to deal with? Because you shall deal with the problems of some sort. I will say, and I want my young ladies to listen very well, and perhaps Hafiz and the Roommates podcast can start to mentor young men in this. It can get dangerous. I've lived it. Because when some men, they don't feel very good about themselves, it can get dangerous. They become verbally abusive. They can become withdrawn. It can become very toxic in a way that, and I don't believe in codependency. So it's not my job to make you feel like a man. That's something that you, when I say a man, yes, I'm going to put that battery in your back. Oh, yes. But you have to have to get up and go kill something and drag it and bring it back into the cave. You have to have that get up and go to do the things that you need to do, that you can look yourself in the face and you can look your God in his face when that day comes and he can say, job well done. And that's internal work. That's self-development. Okay, let's go back. And that's not something that a woman can cause a man to do. That's something a man, and through his mentorship with other men and perhaps listening to the Roommates podcast or what have you, can cultivate within himself. Similarly, women, it's not a man's job to necessarily make you feel like a woman, to make you feel beautiful and valued. Yes, but that's inner work. So I just think that part of the conversation, I did not hear it. I don't know if I watched the whole video. It might be a couple hours. I've only watched a part of it, but let's go back. Let's go back. All right. Let's go. Let's get physical. You guys hear any noise? That's my little pup, my Frenchie. I think she might want to go outside. But it's like 11 o'clock at night, Essie, so you need to chill out. All right, I kind of, let's see, I forwarded to see if we can get to the part I was talking about.
Whatever crazy thing they come up with. So what they did in the study was they said, let's see women like you who are married, and let's see what their husbands are like. So the synthetic spouses, I'm right here, were designed to reflect of the characteristics of the husbands of the similar married women. Thus, assuming women of similar demographics are looking for the similar characteristics in their partners, this method offers a starting point for documenting the characteristics single women might be looking for in a partner. So basically, they're saying that using your lookalike, whatever your lookalike is, who is she marrying? The researchers then compared the synthetic spouses with the real and available men in the United States. And here's where things get interesting. These available men fall short. So for one more time, guys, what they did was they took a group of single women and they said, okay, let's look at their height, their race, money, income status, all these things, generally speaking.
So, okay, here are my thoughts on that. If we're talking about I think that everybody can just chill with the preferences. We can there's fine people of all different skin complexions, fine people of all different booty sizes and heights. So if you're sitting there single, not mad that you haven't been married, mad that you haven't been chosen, and you won't date anybody below 6'1", or, that's a little silly. Because somebody's 5'11" or 5'10" and they are amazing, you're missing out on amazing love story. So I think that that's silly. I don't know if we're going to get to that, but I believe both these young ladies, the brown skin young lady said that she will not date anybody 6'1" and below. Anyone shorter than 6'1". And the light skinned young lady said that she willing to go to and be happy, I believe, was 6 feet. And if that's what's holding you back from getting a man, then they both also said that they have dated men who are shorter, but not happily dated them. So I just think that that's silly. Or if you are a man and you find a woman and she maybe doesn't have a six pack, but she's made a little thicker than you would like, not fat, but a little thicker, but she's amazing and she's checking off all the boxes, for you to overlook her for somebody who's lesser integrity-wise, lesser value-wise, less mentally stimulated, less aligned with you, then that's silly. Because, I mean, it's silly. It's silly. That means it's completely superficial. So I just wanted to make that point. I think that that's a very powerful point. Let's go back to the video. Let's see.
Wow. Education.
The last her look so perplexed. She's done. She's done.
Oh, he's been being
I should have did it earlier.
How bad is it?
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Here we go. The kind of men that single women likely would marry if they married, i.e. the synthetic spouses, were not only 26% more likely to hold a job. Okay.
And I'm not mad at that first part. I'm mad at the last part.
But they also had nearly a 55% higher income than what the available men in the U.S. actually make?
Yes.
What are we going to do with that?
I mean, it's already hard to survive, really. Like the way this world is set up, especially in our society.
Yeah.
So it seems like an unrealistic expectation that women kind of, we have this fantasy in our mind of how life should be.
Yeah.
And the reality is it's just not that. And for the 1%ers that could provide that lifestyle or that fantasy that we want, they are already taken, or they don't want to be taken because they have so many options.
Yeah.
Or they're taken and want you to.
Okay. Let me actually make it so that it's not as, two very beautiful women, by the way. Can I say that? Two very beautiful women, but here's the thing. There are lots of available amazing men out there. I know many. There's this, if you're going to say that there isn't, or the 1% is this, and this, it's just not, it's not serving you. You just need one available person out there that you love and they love you, and you get most of what you want. 80%, they get 80%. Nobody's going to get 100%. The thing, I really wanted to make this video about the money. As I have said, I have dated, when I say date, let me be clear. I'm not talking about, I am someone who's very conservative. I'm not talking about sleeping with. I'm talking about been in an exclusive relationship, went out on multiple dates outside, met family members, been on vacation. So I'm not talking about we went on one date or something like that. That's not I just want to be very clear to qualify. I've dated men who are high quality. When I say that, I'm talking about inside and out, made very good money, 6'5", 6'3", whatever. And what I can say is that, and also I was like late 20s when I was 8, because mind you, I was married I was in a serious relationship and married all my early 30s. So the stuff I'm talking about was in my late 20s, mid to late 20s, when I was dating, and those men who were everybody's type, right? They good looking, fine, had money, all of that. They're kind of elusive, right? It took a while to get into a committed relationship. They were very busy. They were very focused on their career. They really weren't interested in necessarily getting married anytime soon. They're like, maybe I want to get married at 35. Maybe I want to get married at 40. They really were more interested in building an empire. But it was quality relation, quality people. Now there's a middle ground person, right? People who make decent money. They're not, Mr. 1%. And perhaps, I heard somebody say that you want to go medium across the board, medium money, medium height, medium everything, like that type of dude. If you go medium, you're not getting the 1% lifestyle. You're not necessarily getting blown out, but you're getting treated well. And I think the emphasis needs to be put back on that. Now, in the two relationships I'm talking about that I dated, those high quality men, I was treated great. They were amazing. I just feel like it's a little bit more elusive. It's a little harder. When I say elusive, it's harder. I don't know whether they were cheating or not. I didn't feel it. But I think they understand, just like that they are very well sought after. Their focus is on their business. One guy, he had sold a tech company for a couple $millions. He was like in the comedy scene in New York. He was also working in startups, and he was, always doing stuff. And though we hung out a couple times a week, 2-3 times a week, and it was great, even to this day, I still know him, and he's still that same way. He's not married. He's not snatched up. He said to me then, I want to get married like in my 30s or 40s. which is completely fine, right? Because they have the ability to have children, and they don't have, and I think that's what he will do, and he would make an amazing husband. The other gentleman, who's a Wall Street guy, he owned multiple properties in North Carolina, had no kids. Both these gentlemen, and the reason I'm bringing up the height, either in this episode or another one, both women said they had to be 6. I almost said his name. One was like 6'5", the other one's like 6'3". Both very tall. I'm 5'8". Good looking, no kids. Both had one had a bachelor's, one had an MBA. The Wall Street guy, and he was elusive. He was a VP on Wall Street, and he's flying here, flying there. It was it was nice. It was great. I was treated well. He was a good quality guy. He's still not married. And he was older than me. The first one I was talking about was my same age. He was like, maybe he's 40. He probably will get married, right? But those types sometimes take a little while, right, to want to settle down, and they have the ability to do so, and perhaps with someone in their 20s or early 30s. So that is fine. And then I've dated and got married to someone who I would say was not necessarily on my level financially, right? And that causes a lot. Now, I place the emphasis on person being 100% committed, 100% loyal, 100% about me. And then it was hard for his ego to take. So every relationship is going to have their struggles or its struggles. You have to choose what struggle you are willing to go through and for whom. But I do agree with Hafiz that there needs to be an emphasis on the internal. But if I was a betting woman, I'm pretty sure that Hafiz's girlfriend is checking them boxes for him. I bet she's cute. I bet she's beautiful. And so I guess we all have to make concessions. I do think you need to be attracted to. Does that mean 6'1", 6'2"? It could be 5'11". It could be 5'10". That's fine. If the person is, that's a journey I've been in with life coaches, therapists, and God, making sure that I'm putting emphasis on the internal things, that when you're living with someone and you're raising kids with someone, you're going through life, that is what you're dealing with. That's what your life is going to look like. It's not going to look like how fine he is or his height. It's going to look like his character, his relationship with God, his kindness, his ability to communicate, and hers. So I think this is a great video. Should women settle to get married? No, I don't think anyone should settle. Should we all evaluate what is truly important and put the emphasis on that? I think so. If you made it to the end of the video, please like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you guys want me to do more reaction videos. Hit me up at FabAttorney@gmail.com, and on Facebook. Well, nope, not Facebook, Instagram, guys. I'm going to put the link below. Till next time, peace. Peace.